Greetings all, Jolum here with a brand new album rankings episode. Feel free to leave a comment, share this video, as well as all my others on my playlist on this channel. Smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification bell whenever a new video comes out. July 5th, 2025. Ozzy Osbourne, along with his old band Black Sabbath, took the stage for the final time ever in an event called Back to the Beginning, which featured a who's who in rock and metal. If it wasn't for Ozzy and Sabbath, there would be no heavy metal. I said it and meant it. So today, what I'd like to do is rank all 13 of his studio albums from the Prince of Darkness. Born John Michael Osbourne on December 3rd, 1948, he co-founded Black Sabbath in 1968 with Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward. But by 1979, he was fired from Sabbath due to excessive drug and alcohol issues. He then went on a successful solo career with one multi-platinum record after another. But enough of all that, let's get to the rankings. Number 13, Black Rain, 2007. This entire album, with the exception of the song I Don't Want to Stop, is senseless trash. And to quote a Rolling Stone reference to this record as highly skippable. Despite reaching number 3 on Billboard 200 and going gold in the United States, and the high usage of the song I Don't Want to Stop in the media, nothing on Black Rain can really qualify as an Osbourne classic. Number 12, Undercover, 2005. The first and only studio effort from the Prince of Darkness to feature cover songs. Although the live album Speak of the Devil features renditions of songs from his time with Black Sabbath. His rendition of Rocky Mountain Way, Mississippi Queen, and Sympathy for the Devil are must listen to. Number 11, Down to Earth, 2001. Between his previous record Osmosis and this one, the original Black Sabbath reunited, which put a halt on Ozzy's solo output, and it showed on this record. He brought back guitarist Zakk Wylde after having relied on Joe Holmes over the last 6 years. With Down to Earth, the album started off promising with such cuts like Gets Me Through, Facing Hell, both backed by sludge metal style rhythms and studio effects that laid over Osbourne's voice. But then the album falls apart, struggling to vie for relevance when nu metal was the genre of the decade. Even though the record still has a tender ballad like Dreamer and a psychedelic groove called Junkie, very lucky that this record didn't end up as the worst on this list. Number 10, Scream, 2010. This one had input from producer Kevin Churko, who also produced Black Rain. It's the only Ozzy album to feature Firewind Axeman Gus G on guitars. This album was a commercial disappointment, though a moderate success in the US, reaching number 4 on the Billboard 200 and number 12 in the UK. The standout tracks for this one are Let Me Hear You Scream, Let It Die, and Life Won't Wait. A year later, Ozzy would reconnect with Tony and Geezer to create Black Sabbath's 13, which came out 3 years later. Number 9, Ordinary Man, 2020. It's been 10 years since Scream, and Ozzy returned with a fun record in his eyes. He teamed up with Post Malone producer Andrew Watt, who also performed the guitar parts on this record, which features the title track that he co-sung with fellow Englishman Sir Elton John, Under the Graveyard, Straight to Hell, and It's a Raid, which features Post Malone, followed by a crazy-ass music video. Another gold-selling record and reached number 3 on the Billboard 200. Number 8, Patient Number 9, 2022. Ozzy's most recent solo outing. A Grammy Award winner for Best Album, Patient Number 9, the title track, features the late, great Jeff Beck on guitar, shredding away with a killer solo. This record also features contributions from Robert Trujillo of Metallica, Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Duff McKagan of Guns N' Roses, Pearl Jam's Mike McCready, Tony Iommi, Eric Clapton, and the late great Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins. Other than the title track, I dug songs like Parasite, Degradation Rules, One of Those Days, and Nothing Feels Right the Most. Number 7, Osmosis, 1995. 4 years after No More Tears, Ozzy returned with his 7th studio record, and at the time, grunge and groove metal had dominated the music scene. But that didn't slow the Prince of Darkness down, did it? Coming up with the touch-and-go tenderness of such songs like Ghost Behind My Eyes and See You on the Other Side, Osmosis was not without a share of killer cuts like Perry Mason and Thunder Underground, not to mention the haunting anthem of I Just Want You. Osmosis reached number 4 on the Billboard 200 and went double platinum. Number 6, The Ultimate Sin, 1986. The less popular Ozzy Osbourne record that I most recently reviewed on my album review series. And this is going to sound like I'm defending the record, but The Ultimate Sin was the highest charting Ozzy album for the time it came out, reaching number 6 on the Billboard 200 and gone double platinum. It wasn't until Osmosis came out 9 years later that it surpassed this one. Even though Shot in the Dark is the only hit that came from this one, it also has some killer tracks like The Ultimate Sin, Lightning Strikes, Thank God for the Bomb, and Killer of Giants. Number 5, No Rest for the Wicked, 1988. After firing Jake E. Lee, Ozzy recruited a then 21-year-old axe slinger by the name of Zakk Wylde, who would go on to be the longest tenured guitarist Ozzy ever had. He brought a more aggressive style to this album, in which Ozzy liked, coming up with cuts like Miracle Man, Crazy Babies, Breaking All the Rules, and other gems like Bloodbath in Paradise, Fire in the Sky, and my personal favorite, Demon Alcohol. No Rest for the Wicked is Ozzy's 5th album, reaching number 13 on the Billboard 200, and went double platinum. Number 4, Bark at the Moon, 1983. The first of 2 albums to feature Jake E. Lee on guitars, following the tragic death of Randy Rhoads. His 3rd album reached triple platinum status and made it to the top 20 of the Billboard 200. The title track remained a live staple from the time it came out up until one of Ozzy's last tours, not to mention the aforementioned Back to the Beginning show from last weekend. While the title track remains the best known song, other tracks like Now You See It, Now You Don't, You're No Different, Waiting for Darkness, and Rock and Roll Rebel are songs I had gotten to listen to over the last 15 years. Number 3, No More Tears, 1991. This is one of Ozzy's best-selling albums, and around that time he had cleaned up his act. No more drugs and alcohol for him. He teamed up with the likes of Motorhead's Lemmy Kilmister on a few songs. He and Zakk Wylde were firing on all cylinders, and this album had a lot of kick-ass material. From the opener, Mr. Tinker Train, to the closer, Road to Nowhere, and in between you got an epic title track, the heartfelt ballad, Mama I'm Coming Home, and other gems like I Don't Want to Change the World, Zombie Stomp, and Hellraiser, a song that also ended up on Motorhead's March or Die record, released a year later. Number 2, Diary of a Madman, 1981. Randy Rhoads' magnum opus. His final contribution before his tragic death in a plane crash in 1982. This bright production gives us the opener, Over the Mountain, followed by the happy groove of Flying High Again. But the album's title track had so much emotional weight that it was melancholic. Diary of a Madman is another album review I've done over a year ago. It reached the top 20 on the Billboard 200 and went double platinum. And number 1, The Blizzard of Oz, 1980. The first solo outing that started it all for the Prince of Darkness. The Blizzard of Oz features his best known songs like I Don't Know, Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, the demonically haunting Mr. Crowley, and features one of his most controversial songs, Suicide Solution. As of this recording, The Blizzard of Oz is a 5-time platinum record in the US, reached both silver and gold status in the UK, and this was a great start of a new beginning for Ozzy as a solo artist post-Black Sabbath era. Well, here it is. All of Ozzy's solo discography ranked from worst to best. With all of Ozzy's releases thus far in the 21st century, Black Rain is his worst, while his most recent record, Patient Number 9, deserved to be ranked higher, because it reminded me of the classic Ozzy we all know and love. It was no surprise that his earlier works, like Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz, along with 1991's No More Tears, remain three of his best albums to date. Matter of fact, Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman are two of the most influential records in heavy metal history. Let me know what you think in the comments below.